Hi there, this is Hyoeun from South Korea, and welcome back to another episode of Day in the Life of a Minerva student. From the serene morning breeze in Taipei to the mesmerizing sunset in Hyderabad, let's dive right into the vibrant tapestry of my sophomore life at Minerva University. For those of you who are watching for the first time, as a Minerva student, I will be spending my 4 years in college living and learning in 7 cities around the world. So every time when we pack our bags and move on to our next rotation city, we start with what's called an exploration day. And though this may sound like some boring mandatory event, let me assure you that they're just like first dates. Simple anticipation, excitement, butterflies, but even better, no painfully awkward pauses. In Taipei, our exploration day started off with an orientation of our partner university in the city. And as the day went by, we got to visit locations historically and artistically significant, fulfilling the given missions. One of the missions given was to take a photo of something that we would not be able to find anywhere else outside of Taipei. And it was through this experience we were challenged to discover the city through our own eyes. Our group chose this mushroom-looking bun with chocolate inside because though we also have buns called hoppang where I come from, I realized that there are so many variations of buns depending on local culture and taste, and we should not make assumptions of things that we might think we are familiar with when exploring a new culture. After a whole day of fun missions completed, we ended the night by gathering to share what each of us found surprising about our first day in the city at the dinner organized by our welcoming and lovely student life team in Taipei. In Hyderabad, our exploration day started with taking the boat tour in the warm weather and riding the tuk-tuk, the most common transportation in India, to move between mission locations, which made us truly feel like locals in the city. From spoiling ourselves with the best chai and ice cream places in town, to exploring the night market full of enchanting performances and artisanal products, we discovered a plethora of our favorite havens in our new home. While India is often regarded as not a very safe place to travel, especially for females, I would say that my experience living and learning in Hyderabad has suggested otherwise and exposed me to two sides of a coin. I've seen the order within the chaos, the friendliness behind the haggling, and I've gradually realized Hyderabad could be a very safe home for me as long as I grow crucial cultural awareness that keeps me from exposing myself to dangerous situations and abiding by the local precautions. And the Minerva City team is also doing a good job in creating helpful guidelines and a network of safe locations to take full advantage of what the city has to offer at all times.
She made this bag. Hello. Super pretty. What's your name? Poonam. Say hi.
Once we were introduced to the city, it was time to connect with our Civic partners for the semester. Again, for first-time watchers, the Civic project is a vital learning component at Minerva that allows us to apply knowledge and skills learned in the classroom to solve a local issue or challenge with a mission-aligned partner in the city. In Hyderabad, a couple friends and I worked with a startup business that aimed to address the air and water quality crisis in India. As part of the experiential learning, we attended national social entrepreneur events, created and conducted consumer surveys, and collected data samples to better understand the magnitude of the issue. In Taipei, I worked individually with a non-profit organization aiming to establish a safer digital environment for children and youth in Taiwan. Serving as the youth consultant representative of South Korea, I was able to nurture deeper insights on the existing challenges facing structures and networks of the local government and private agencies via direct research, and explore with the city partner on how we might best work towards the goal of enhancing Taiwan's digital literacy and content management. Oftentimes, I have people asking me whether Minerva is only a good fit for students interested in social sciences or business, since we don't have a campus that would provide the required resources for natural sciences or computational sciences majors. But let me tell you, that is not true. As a matter of fact, as a student who has declared majors in both natural sciences and social sciences during my sophomore year, I found myself surrounded with strong support from Minerva to fulfill my passion in the natural science field. As one of the special events and visits that the Taipei City team readily organized, I had the chance to visit the Asian Institute of Telesurgery in Changhua County. And being able to experience the cutting-edge instruments for telesurgery have enabled me to build a better understanding on how professionals are working to bridge the gap between technological advancements and healthcare services. Additionally, during my semester in Taipei, through the arrangement of Minerva's Natural Science Department, I was offered the opportunity to run labs at the medical school at NTU, which is Minerva's local partner university in Taipei. Among all experiments throughout the semester, some of my favorites were testing out the effect of melatonin in mitigating stress on mice, and learning how to use flow cytometry and reverse transcription on different types of cells. The chance to immerse myself in a lab's work environment was already incredible, but what truly stood out was the hospitality and friendship I developed with the professor and students there. In fact, I still dearly miss riding behind their motorcycles to go on a special picnic that they've prepared for me with their favorite local cuisine. So we have been introduced to the city and our partners. So you might be wondering, what did your everyday life look like in each city? Well, here at Minerva, there is not a typical day, as your day will be different depending on your priorities, mood, and deadlines for that particular day. But with all that said, let me try giving you guys a brief overview of what a typical day might look like in each rotation city. In Taipei, I started the day with early morning classes on Forum, Minerva's active learning platform.
I think that conciseness is also needed, but in my response, I just emphasized the need for an explanation. So it cannot just be A causes B, but we need that explanation in there.
Yeah, explanations are very crucial in theory. You have to provide that explanation.
Then, my roommate and I usually try to cook healthy dishes for lunch. Once I finished eating, I hopped on the bike to get to the lab where I usually spent my afternoon. From there, I normally went straight ahead to a local cafe to work on my pre-class work, assignments, and civic projects. And on my way back home, I had street foods and bubble tea for takeout to help me push through my late night classes at home. In Hyderabad, I started my morning at a nearby cafe with a cup of coffee and delicious pastries, often reading or working on my civic project. Then, I usually grabbed lunch outside because food was very affordable and there were many nice restaurants nearby our residence hall. Then, it was time to ride the tuk-tuk with some pre-class work and move to a co-working space in the afternoon to complete academics and take classes there.
Hyoeun.
Yeah, so if the lottery is already being conducted, if Javia tries to sell it, the lottery, as just perceived it already kind of has a negative quality because gap year wouldn't sell it.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's an example of an offer conveying negative information about the quality of what is being offered.
Once that was over, I usually ate dinner in my room or at the restaurant located on the first floor of our res hall. Because there were special menus for Minerva students and a lot of varieties that were very affordable, many of us liked taking care of our meals there. Afterwards, I would make my way to the gym and end my day there. Now, while this shows how my weekdays looked during both semesters, there's so much more to share about my sophomore year, including what Minerva students do during weekends, in-semester breaks, and other opportunities to immerse ourselves into the new city. So if you don't want to miss out on the remaining story, stay tuned for my next video. Bye!